We're bound to have a bug buffet here pretty soon, but right now the peppers are looking really good. And I've planted some chives next to them. Our garlic's starting to lay down, or something's laying on it. I think the cats have gotten wise that the bugs don't like the garlic, so they're taking a nap. But the elephant garlic, the leaves, still waiting for them to turn. I dug one up, but the bulbs weren't quite developed, so just kind of waiting. Then the mammoth jalapenos have started going to town. We've got pretty good sized peppers coming on, and the plant seems to be thriving real well. Got some blooms, looking good so far. We've got a few raspberries that they're starting to turn colors. About ready to pick. I'd say a few of them need to be eaten. But then all the blackberries, they're kind of taking their time ripening, which is fine. I think a lot of it's due to the mild weather. No complaints. We've needed some decent weather here. It's just been boom or bust, where it's gotten really hot and stayed that way. So to have the temperature change isn't a bad thing. And then our driveway tomatoes, they're coming on quite well. They'll be turning. And we've got some marigolds, the ones we started from seed. This is like the third year in a row that we have harvested the seed heads from these and then replanted them, and they do just fine. Starting to get a little tired of hoeing, and I began laying down some landscape fabric. It's a work in progress, but it's sure gonna help. Cucumber, I'm trying to get it trained up on this trellis. They're coming along pretty good so far. Got a couple wires running up here so I can string them up this thing. These cucumbers are going mad. The little pickling ones. My goodness. I've got all kinds of blooms on them. Should have some babies here. I wish we had some pollinators. I haven't seen many bees in the garden. Or butterflies. Hopefully we'll start getting some. Looks like the bugs are already starting to eat a little bit on the green bean leaves. Happens every year. We contend with Japanese beetles and whatnot. But they've climbed up the trellis well. And then, gosh, the corn is looking pretty great. Hope to see some tassels sometime soon. Be nice. But look, our little wildflower zinnias. That's what happens when you get loaded and you start throwing seeds everywhere. You got zinnias all over the place. See? Here's our little San Marino tomatoes. They're starting to do good. The plant's getting pretty tall. And our husky cherries, got bunches of them. They're just going mad. These are the Arkansas Travelers. They're rocking and rolling. Since I've kept the deer away from the sunflowers, they're starting to get taller too. Here's one of our new arrivals. The garden center had some markdowns, so we took advantage of it. Bought a bunch of plants extra and got those in the ground last weekend. Starting to flower out. Some of the plants were mature, had some tomatoes on them, but this is the early girls. They're forming fruit. This is the tallest plant so far. It's just about as tall as me. And the German Johnson. Gonna be some interesting fruit on this one. I'll be curious to see how this turns out. I bought a couple extra small plants to add on the other side of the garden to see what they're gonna be like too. Something new. Last year's crop, these were the best performers in the heat, believe it or not. But they were the yellow tomatoes. These are supposed to be yellow. So far, all my leaves are looking pretty healthy. Cross my fingers, hope the bugs keep away. Done my best to keep the deer off of them. Nothing will stop the raccoons. But we've got a lot of plants. And this is a super fantastic. And the lady at the garden center said this is the one she likes the best that she grows in her garden. But they do pretty good. They look like there's got some big old honking fruit on them. Can't wait to see if you ripen. My little mixture of okra and zinnias. Telling you. Hopefully they'll bring some pollinators in this garden. But look at these peppers. I can't wait. I'm gonna get a recipe to make chili rellenos, and I may pick a few of these tomorrow and give it a shot. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. I've got a pot of dill. Looks like it'd love to have had more room. You can smell it from here, which is good. It's a deterrent for bugs. I'm trying to bring in stuff that'll keep them away, especially from these green beans. Those are some of the bush ones that I planted. They didn't fare well this year. It's kind of a disappointment. And then here we go with and here we go with some of the replants that we got from the garden center. They look a little thirsty. I'll have to give them a drink. We planted these and it was a little warm. We kind of weighed the odds on whether to pull off the existing tomatoes that were on there in the garden spot or in the greenhouse, but they definitely need a drink. And then our established peppers, the Anaheims. I'll have to start figuring out what to do with them because they're starting to come on. The more I pick, the more they'll come. And here's some more of the little sweet peppers, but I swear they look like jalapenos. Those are supposed to turn different colors, but the jury's out. And then that's supposed to be a red pepper, big bell. This is supposed to be a jalapeno. Although they say a lot of people are getting mislabeled plants this year and their jalapenos are banana peppers. I don't know if that'll happen here or not. Let's see, more transplants from the greenhouse. And they look rough. I probably be for the better tomorrow. I'm gonna probably snip all the fruit that's on them off and water them real well. But that's a report from the yarden. Not too bad.